This woman's son had just passed away, but she drew a bird's egg on a piece of paper, hoping her son could come back to life. She shed a tear in her sorrow. The tear happened to fall right onto the drawing of the egg. The next moment, the egg began to crack. A little bird flew out from inside. The woman was stunned. The little bird hopped from the paper onto another sheet and began licking the paint. The woman dropped another drop of paint. The bird immediately jumped over and ate it. At that moment, she realized this was not an illusion. She picked up a paintbrush. She painted a red dot on the wall. The bird immediately jumped over and ate it. Then she drew a thick line. This time, instead of eating it, the bird began playing on it. The woman suddenly understood. The bird loved her paint. It could even live on the wall. So she quickly drew a long line on the wall. The bird happily perched on it, just like it was its home. At this point, the woman placed the paint on a wooden board. But suddenly, the paint spilled onto a wooden board. Then it spread to her baby's cradle. The woman hurriedly knelt down to wipe it away, but the stain wouldn't come off. In an instant, the woman remembered her deceased son. When the bird saw the woman crying, it also began to cry. Then it suddenly began to grow. The woman felt it was time to let the bird learn to fly. So, she painted a sky and grassland on the wall. Soon the bird began flying inside it. Time passed. The woman cared for the bird as if it were her own son. The wall was filled with colorful scenes. The bird gradually grew and became an adult bird. But one day, the bird had its own ideas. It didn't want to be trapped in the wall forever. It wanted to know the world outside. The woman tried to stop it. The bird wouldn't listen. In anger, the woman struck the wall with her hand. Strangely, her hand began to transform. The bird broke through the wall and flew out. But once outside, it grew weak and fell to the ground. It crawled to the woman's side and began wiping the stain on the cradle with its forehead. Then it collapsed on the ground, trying to stand up but in vain. The woman saw its suffering. She knew she had to send the bird back into the wall for it to survive. So she extended her hand and opened a passage in the wall. The bird went back inside and immediately regained its vitality. Though the woman couldn't bear the separation, she accepted the truth. The bird could only live inside the wall. Finally, under the woman's gaze, the bird flew high toward the sky painted on the wall, and the woman continued to complete her artwork.